Okay, so to continue with the previous session, time stamping this, it is 11:53. It is Thursday. It is the 7th of August 2025. So that is Venus, that is Pluto, and that is Jupiter. Nothing gets along with anything, but it doesn't matter. We continue with the session. It's gotten actually last night off camera. I did look at it. So it kind of got a little, it got a little serious, not for me. It got serious. Yesterday's session was 2 hours, which only 45 minutes got recorded and put out onto the internet because I was kind of upset looking at marriage connected with me and the fact that it is true that 10 people had shapeshifted in it. So I didn't realize that the camera was on pause. Anyway, perhaps I vented quite a bit and it didn't need to go out. So whatever 45 minutes went out, but that video was actually a recording of about 2 hours, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's primarily because I was quite upset at the reading that I didn't realize that it had been paused. But the recording went on with the pause on, and finally it is just a 45-minute video. We will revisit the marriage, but today we'll do something that I got in the night yesterday. Okay, so having said that, this is talking about something connected with the ER. Connecting with EU. I don't know anybody in Europe. That's the best part. NRL and IG. Some amount of fibbing. Connected with Rohika Chagla Mistry of Chagla Law Firm. Married to Cyrus Mistry. Of course, because she is connected with law, she would be visiting the courts. ATS, so I have only met Mr. Rakesh Maria in 2006 for a very simple reason that I'm telling him that the water quality is not that great. I've taken samples of water in a very childish, stupid way because that's how I am, kind of. So he says, no, I'll send someone to your house and do the checking. You take it all back, whatever you call evidence. You take it home and ask your father permission for whatever. Also, I'm telling him whatever I'm doing in my bedroom, someone on the internet is telling me, or then on the phone, not phone, on the internet is repeating that they know. I didn't tell him. They say, I can see how much hair you have on your legs. You have not shaved for a very long time, or you're a hairy child. Not child, you're hairy when you are changing in your bedroom. That kind of stuff is what on the internet was spoken to me. So I got really worried because we all within the house to respect privacy of each other. No one just, there are three locks on my door of my bedroom. So someone who I don't even know is chatting and saying, laughing at me and saying, about the hair on my legs, because for whatever reason I have not gone and shaved, nor have I waxed, and there is I don't know what it is that has got me to just let it be as it is. There is something. But this one is repeating and telling me these things and laughing about it, and I find it weird. I say, how can anyone watch what I'm doing in my bedroom and tell me when I am changing what is on my body? So I got worried. Plus, I was throwing up a lot, and there was for about 3-4 years, ever since I went to sign the final paper here in Bangalore for the divorce decree. Soon after that, whatever I consume, I'm vomiting, and there is lots of dots, or let's just say scars, appearing on my face, and I don't know where, and mostly on my chin, and I don't know where that is coming from. So I'm assuming there is a correlation between what I am consuming and what it is that's happening physically on my body. Also, there is a problem with the water, and of course somebody is telling me that they can watch everything I'm doing in my locked bedroom at number 4 Jaswell first floor, 9 New Marine Lines, Bombay 20, which is the only apartment that I have grown up at. That's the place from where I have gone to Fort Convent School, graduated in the batch of 1989, gone to HR College, graduated in the year 1994, worked at Times of India, left the job end 1995, gone to Queensland University of Technology, returned end 1996, gone sometime I think January, February 1996, returned for a semester break. End 1996, returned, had my passport stolen at that time, then returned to the last semester of QUT MBA 1997 and returned to India by June end or July 1997, broken up with Ankur Patodia by October 1997, then gone looking for jobs, sent in the resume through the classifieds, turns out to be Jones Lang Bootin, which becomes Jones Lang LaSalle. So send my resume off. The ad classified is put out in Economic Times, which I reply to. They get in touch with me because I have gone to a holiday to Brewery House as a break because I have broken up. So, I'm told, okay, go for a holiday, go for a break. I go to Brewery House, I'm over there when I get a call from Mike Holland or then Matt Shaw that, okay, we are in Bombay on this date, can you come for a interview? I say, but I'm on a holiday in Bangalore. He says, okay, after that we're coming to Bangalore to do the interviews there. Can you meet us in Bangalore? We agree. We meet them, we get the job. My aunt says, why do you want to go stay on a PG anywhere? You stay at Brewery House itself and you go to work from here. Shambhav E is already married. SM Krishna's daughter is already now newly married to my cousin Umesh Ingorani. What you've done in the background is not my problem. The office that has opened is at Brunton Road, a few buildings away from Prestige, Four Seasons Apartments, where the younger sister called JAYA.ADVANI, married to Mr. Subhash Gupta, is supposed to be living over there. But this is the year 1998. Koshi Gupta was murdered, according to my reading, in 1993. Then who was in her place? Akhil Gupta 1995, but now we are in 1998. You give me the answers. I am the original JAYA.ADVANI, the first passport created in the name JAYA.ADVANI. I am that girl. For the Chidambaram ship. You have recalibrated, calibrated ego, genes, genomes, chromosomes, fuck knows what all you have done without letting me know. You are trash. Why have you drowned me in your trash and in the sewer and the sinking sand that you have been trying to get out of at an atomic level by poor birth? Why have you exchanged places with me, dumping your rubbish on me, that also stabbing me in my back throughout the entire process? Why have you done what you've done? So ATS may be Maria. Is Maria's name over here? M-A-R-I. There's Mari, not Maria. Or Maria. He is the ATS celebrated ATS officer in Bombay who got caught on the back of the bomb blast for miscommunication at Kasab's time. But what happened at Apollo Taj, connected with the synagogue, connected with Leopold, connected with CST, is just unrelated. It seems to be more. And anyway, you got your stuff together, you do your own studying of the situation. I have to understood it completely differently. What it seems is not what it is, and what it is, nobody actually understood it, is the way I feel it is. The version of Ritu Malia that crossed paths with the beast, she says she crossed paths with the beast in the reading. The beast has something to do. The beast has something to do with all four places, whether it was the synagogue, whether it was Apollo Taj Mahal, Apollo Bandar, whether it was Leopold, and whether it was CST. There is an interconnection at a very personal level. Kasab was an outcome of a personal vendetta, revenge. I don't think it was really what they projected it to be. Anyway, I am JAYA.ADVANI, but then for me there are many shapeshifters who parallelly have done the job, who we are talking about. I did go and meet, I personally went and met Mr. Maria, but never returned back to him. Then went and met Mr. Nangre. Then went and put in an FIR connected with cybercrime. That is before I left for New Zealand. He said, but here the IP address is going to Los Angeles. I said, but I have never been to Los Angeles. I have to hardly travel. And if I travel, it's always to the east of the globe. I think he's mistaken. So let it be, because I don't know anyone in Los Angeles. Why should Los Angeles watch me? I'm to in 4 Jasville, 9 New Marine Lines, first floor, Bombay 20 all my life. And okay, for education I've gone here, there and the other. Max I come to Brewery House at Bangalore, or then 190 Sankey Road at Sadashiv Nagar, or then when they have moved to RMB there, or then to Prestige Four Seasons Apartments. I don't even go to Cunningham Road or then Ali Asgar Road so much. That is Ramesh Chacha's house or Mr. Ramesh Advani's house. How many people have been done away with, replicated, that only you know. And if you're calling yourself intelligence, shame on you, simply because you've not done work of intelligence. The beast and the ogre ran you. And probably mass exodused so many people who were actually born from the white light to do righteous deeds of doing intelligence, replace them with all the dark souls connected with the beast and the ogre. And that he's been doing ever since 1995. An absolute overhaul of the entire system, white replaced by black. Atmas, wherever he could knock you off. When you are connected to the film industry, Femina Film Fair and Times of India. Times of India, at a time where we were a lowly executive for response for selling their ads, empty spaces in newspapers and magazines. They say, no, you are very empowered. You are new on the job, but you are very empowered. You don't know how strong Times of India and Bennett, Coleman and company are. You are the king. You are very strong. So with that kind of a weapon in hand, pen is mightier than the sword. But when you are dealing with industrialists, when you are dealing with the cinema industry, all of them have money. There is this fog of the underworld. Then journalism, such a coveted job. Usko weaponize kare ogre and uska partner the beast. Bas ho gaya. With Economic Times, don't you meet the who's who in the financial industry? With the international division, to all the affiliation internationally. What don't you have in your hands? But if you are the ogre and you are the beast, how do you use it? How do you keep changing it? How do you replace lit atmas, lit souls by birth, even if impoverished, but they are able to do righteous acts while they are achieving in life, with dark souls, who are dark souls primarily because they have done such dark deeds through so many yugas prior to this. But then birds of a feather stick together. So all the people you put into all the slots, replacing good with bad. R1, G1, G1, R1, fan. Then taking it even further, because you are beastly. You are the ogre hand in glove with the beast, raping other people's legally wedded wives. What a business, what a business. When it comes to her, well, she is by birth okay, but she was messed with. Replaced by 20, she says. Shapeshifters. I don't do that job. It is possible I had shapeshifters for me, not sure. I don't fib as a matter of fact. I have no idea about the IG. I've never been to Europe. SRL is the boy from Cotton World I was supposed to be marrying. I am not going to get into a sham marriage myself. Not when SM Krishna is supposed to be my cousin's father-in-law here in Karnataka. For heaven's sake, I've been coming to Karnataka since I was an infant. Sitting as a 3-year-old child on Whitefield grounds, or whenever my mother first left my father, Varsha in tow. Yes, her cousins from the Sadrangani family, some support her, some are telling her go back to the marriage. Her father has come chasing her over here with her mother. He has a heart attack, he dies. They blame her for it. Her name is Anu Sadrangani, and at that time Mrs. Anita Advani. The maids she picks up are from Regina Pashis. Estella is one of them. Martha, who are you? What were you doing at Fort Jaswell? Rosie Fernandez's mother was already from the 60s working for Mrs. Kalavati Hukumatrai Advani, whose son was running Kani and Company and HG Advani and Company, which is Hukumatrai Gurmukdas Advani and Company. Weren't you the secretary in the home office for those two companies? Who is Tony Fernandez? You dare to call yourself intelligence? What kind of black intelligence are you? Dark-hearted, dark soul. Run by whom? From where? My guess is there is something on X, which is Twitter. This is only evidence. I don't need to fib. I don't think she should fib. She says she shapeshifted as Shalina Hundalani, Varsha Advani. Soon after Sharanya's birth, that is on the 2nd of May 2005, at Breach Candy Hospital, I already told you how they treated Varsha, even though she had booked the VIP room. For the first day after she has delivered, they gave her a room which was on the floor of other rooms being refurbished. So there was construction sound throughout that afternoon. And Varsha was very disturbed and upset. Sharanya was in the baby cot being brought in for feeding and being taken back wherever they keep the babies. After the next day, I was told, or the second day, Varsha was moved to the VIP room. But I was told Varsha was switched at that point in time. Varsha never ever went to the VIP room. Varsha went on for further crisping. Ultimately became Mrs. Anita Merchant at the behest of the beast and the ogre. You brought in what? Dark Atma on the back of her identity. Exchanged her for what? Her baby Sharanya, who was born over there. Is it coincidence that the nurse brings in a baby first? A good-looking baby with a long nose, and says, sorry, this is not your child. This is some room of that lady's baby. And then brings Sharanya forward. What were you trying to prove at that point in time? You can't be a consistent defaulter at every step and throw your sewer, sinking Atma in the sewer of Nak Patal on other people. You can't do that. Between you and me, those who have done dark activities, there is no hope for you. Make sure you understand that in absolute totality. You be whoever you want to be, anywhere in the world. It's over for you. So she says she had come to Fort Jaswell because she wanted to prove that JAYA.ADVANI's family is a bad family living at Fort Jaswell, first floor, 9 New Marine Lines, Bombay 20. My reputation was first spoilt at Fort Convent School. In which year? When I was in the 9th standard itself. I graduated in 1989, so you spoilt my reputation when? 1987, 1988? You spoilt my reputation consistently from 1987, 1988 onwards. On the back of what? Who in my family did you destroy? So then you went on a rampage of destroying everything consistently, including my face 3 times over. Why did you do what you did? You are going to Nark Patal, 40% of whoever you have hired on the back of really bad karma. You by free will cannot decide my karma, whether I am deserving of your shit or not. But when the Guru, who has the Trinity in his hands, supports me, that itself decides which way what is going to go. Not once have I lied about you, not once have I destroyed you, not once have I ever thrown my slush on you, not once have I ever defamed you. Whenever I speak on these sessions, it is very much keeping, after doing my prayers, keeping this kind of energy, staying with this kind of energy, that I do these reads. I call myself a peon and a messenger, trying to interpret what comes out in these reads. When I am doing these reads, I also take it back to its source to show you how the throw happened, which I have not done so right now because we're on this topic. Coming to RCM Rohika Chagla Mistry, somebody says that she shapeshifted into my home within 3 months or 4 months of Sharanya being born on the 2nd of May 2005. Bertie was working in my home. That is the only day when flashing eyes, Shalina, very different from my JAYA.ADVANI, who's a softie for most part of it. Yeah, she comes and she enters the house. She's got very, very different energy from my sister. Throwing weight around, the baby is howling on top of her voice, crawling around my room. She has the maid Sanandana with her. That woman also is picked up from Regina Pashis. Right? Nice little hen tie. Northeast India with what? You are Maoist militant? What are you? Red? How do we know? Anyway, this girl goes into the kitchen for the first time in 1.5 years. Bertila, who's like a donkey with teeth, standing out way beyond her face, all the time showing it when she's getting instructions, has to be told, stop laughing, stop all the time smiling, take the instructions, go do the work. Who are you reporting taking a salary from our home? Your salaries come from selling my shares. Who was running you? So when haramkhor knockers like you work at homes like ours, taking instructions from bloody garbage outsiders who stink still and run crap like you, know who you are. That's the only day that bloody donkey-faced woman was eating plain rice. Yeah, sitting in the corner of the kitchen. Otherwise, what all you do eat? She has confirmed she came over there to gather evidence which was equivalent to fibbing. Which courts only you fucking know. I don't know it. Whenever you have done whatever you have done it behind my back. I've never been to EU. This guy's son was dead before I even got married to him. The 10 people who shapeshifted in that fuck-all bloody sham, who brought them there? Rangka Park, China, Koh Samui, Singapore, Bangkok. You are ugly, ugly people. You will only get नर्क in the future. हक से तुमको वहीं पे भेजेंगे, और जो आत्मा तुमको भेजेगा वो एक बच्चे का आत्मा तुम जैसे चूतियों को नर्क ही भिजवा देगा. From there you will not move a fraction of an mm. कमाई के तौर पे. No bloody dance drama crap. Absolute reality of who you are at the core of your Atma. You ugly, ugly, dark soul. There is no theoretics in what I am doing. You have followed people who present themselves as very well turned out, the who's who in society. But if you have not understood Ra1 and G1, which has shown itself in every read of mine, or then fan, do not insult human intelligence, because you are incompetent dark Atmas who replaced lit beings who would have called you out on the bullshit you are all about in 2 seconds. It says you lured people and conned people whenever you got rid of them. This is one such thing. Tony Fernandez. You connected to the ogre and the beast, misusing assets like there's no tomorrow. Alright? We'll show you, it is in part of the read, how you con and lure people. What excuses? Fernandez, habitual bloody liar from the shanty days of the 60s, 50s? Habitual. Connected with Africa for sure. 100%. You have gotten rid of people and replicated along those Niles, the Nile River, as early as Audrey Hepburn's days, in all probability. Are you with me? Can file name cat please talk? Darling, I want you to speak, because I don't want Rohika Chagla Mistry to talk, simply because she is very weak. After her husband joined her, he's been sent away or what, to the realm earned by him. While he was around, she was able to move the pendulum faster. That was just for a couple of times. So if you can interpret for her, did she visit Forge Aswell? Because in her previous confession, what she said was she purposely visited Forge Aswell because she wanted to purposely gather evidence against me in some way to cover her own tracks. And she had shapeshifted as Shalina Hundalani, but you had already produced Sharanya and had been exchanged in some way, or something had happened, and you were out of circulation. So within the first 3-4 months, when Bertila was still working at Forge Aswell, when on that only one day after 1.5 years, she is eating only rice on her plate. Rohika said that was Rohika Chagla Mistry pretending to be Varsha. There at Forge Aswell, with very different energy from what I know of Fort Convent Varsha, file name Cat, which was irking me even more, and the baby was howling on top of her voice, crawling in my bedroom, and we knew she had a tumor and epilepsy, which got the situation to be even more actually kind of on the edge. Now she says she came to Forge Aswell to gather evidence against me, using Bertila as a prop or coercing Bertila to do something on the back of hearsay. Is it true? Okay, am I wearing a pink t-shirt today? Am I wearing a white t-shirt with ships, I think, on it? Rohika is in her human body today, darling. I have to ask the same question. Rohika Chagla, MC Chagla's granddaughter, from the Chagla law firm, married to Cyrus Mistry, who you say has gone away to the lower realms already. Now, I just want to know, is Rohika, I don't want to say, I get upset because I've got my own personal issues also in the marriage which represented itself yesterday. Is Rohika MC Chagla's granddaughter in her human body? Has Rohika Chagla married to Cyrus Mistry with 2 sons produced by her, hopefully? Has she exited for the afterlife, left the human body and gone away to the afterlife? Has Arnab Goswami also left for the afterlife? Arnab Goswami was killed at Panvel, like JAYA.ADVANI, file name cat, who went to Fort Convent School as me. Arnab Goswami, with a history at Times of India and then Republic TV, was murdered further down between Panvel, leaving Panvel, further stations towards Pen and Ratnagiri, but not Ratnagiri, but along that line somewhere close by to Pen, few stations before, few stations after. We're talking about Arnab Goswami, who has a wife and probably 1 child or 2 children, God only knows. He used to do the Newsa. He left Times of India to go away to start Republic TV. Is he in his human body today? Arnab Goswami helped the shapeshifter, one of the SKFs, in one interview before I was going away to New Zealand. They did a 1-hour interview. Hiding behind that face at that interview is the beast. Is that man the beast? No, not known to the beast. Is he the beast itself? But he works with the beast as part of the entourage of shapeshifters, which the beast is a part of. Okay, I need to digress a bit from the topic, if you're willing. Okay? Okay. I want to understand one thing from you. Are you talking to the girl who wore the blue cellophane paper dress with wings, a band with a star in the middle on the forehead, and a wand with a star on it, in the 2nd standard of Convent and Jesus and Mary, Nathalal Parekh Marg, called Fort Convent School? Are you directing this to me? Do I have a twin brother? The brown and hairy girl in the 2nd standard in that play has a twin brother? The brown and hairy girl sat in the 1st standard in Mrs. Lobo's classroom. partner was Anita Nathani in that classroom. That is me. Our uniform in Fort Convent School, CJM, Kulaba, Nathalal Parik Marg, was always the pinafore, skirt. Was it for the entire school? Does everyone wear that? Our uniform changes in the 5th standard. Our preschool uniform, pre-KG and KG, is in the ground floor hall. Next to the classroom, which looks like a hall on the ground floor, is a bigger hall on the ground floor. Our second floor hall has bars to climb on it. Our auditorium with a stage in the hall is on the ground floor. In pre-KG and KG, we wear colored belts on our uniform. All of us wear red belts on our uniform. All of us wear blue belts on our uniform in pre-KG and KG. All of us wear green belts on our uniform in pre-KG and KG. The pinafore uniform and the skirt uniform for PT with shorts, and the pinafore, the brown or khaki pinafore, starts in the 5th standard. Starts in the 4th standard. So tell me one thing. In this school, the holder of the pendulum has gone there from pre-KG. You have followed after 2 years. You're the fair one, I'm the dark one. You're the fair one with hardly any hair on you, I'm the dark hairy one. That is because of some bloody fucking medication given to me, told to me by Anu Sadrangani, for converting me from a fair baby into a dark baby, and who sprouts a lot of hair because there's a hormonal imbalance due to my dysentery problem. Was that story given to me the true story, or was she again fucking fibbing? Was she fibbing? Did I really have dysentery as a child, converting my body from a fair birth into a dark one before my first birthday? Fernandez's played really filthy with the employers along with Regina Pash's maidservants. They fibbed through their teeth wherever they got a chance. They are the root cause for all the confusion that has prevailed, bringing in criminals all around the world, getting rid of lit beings and replacing them with very dark souls. Rohika Chagla Mistry was also drawn in because of Chagla law firm and being married to Cyrus Mistry, who befriends the poor according to his name and title, straight out of Ireland. They use that to lure her, con her, entrap her and her husband eventually. First her husband, then her. Along the way, Patsy Perrin Dubash, her mother-in-law, Cyrus Mistri's mother by womb. They've replicated that throughout history whenever they have grabbed and confused everybody, including so-called, God only knows whether you can give them the name called ER, because all the lit guys have been replaced by dark beings. Really don't know what to call them. Now again, going back to questioning you about me. Pre-KG at Fort Convent, CJM, have done the pom-pom dance because of Mrs. DeCosta. Diku came on Doordarshan, played the role of a nun in one of those plays. Another play I have taken part in is the choir, where Menaz Hussain sang Ebony and Ivory as a solo. Then for Rotary did one fashion show, something about the corporate life as well as the sari, green color sari, and something to do with the corporate life and owl glasses, round glasses. Then went to do Pari Hu Main for 1 month at Ramba building in Nepean Road. Then that got scrapped. My face got spoiled along the way. I'm not Artha, I'm JAYA.ADVANI. Artha never went. Did Artha ever go to Fort Convent School, Varsha? Aarti Nanthur went to Fort Convent School. Did Varsha Advani, file name Cat, who shapeshifted for Ritu Malia, go to Fort Convent School 2 years after I was in Fort Convent School? At Fort Convent School, Neeta Rekha Mirchandani, Sonia Ramchandani. From our setup were very much there. From the Lekraj setup, Jaya and Shabnam Lekraj, Simal Lekraj, Nisha Lekraj, Leena, whatever her surname is, Malvika Lekraj, were these the girls? Were they genuine Cotton World people? So after I have joined Fort Convent School in pre-KG, shat in the first standard due to the dysentery problem in Mrs. Lobo's class, then been the fairy, the blue fairy with that cellophane paper with that thing on my wing on my back. Rosie has been working in our home parallelly all through those years. I've graduated in 1989. Do I have a twin brother somewhere in the world? Were you directing it to me, who has gone to Fort Convent School and graduated in 1989, finally 2 years before you have graduated, file name Cat? So the girl who was in Fort Convent School all the way, gone to Shellams, then joined Fort Convent, failed the Cathedral School exam, got my passport when I'm 7 years old to go for the Chidambaram trip, then gone to America when I'm about 10 turning 11 on the same passport. Are you telling me I got a real twin brother somewhere in the world, born from the same womb? He knows who I am. Do I know who he is? But he knows who I am. It's Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings, Shani's blessings that such an event has come to pass? Because I don't know anything. I have to ask the pendulum for everything. He's my twin brother. He looks anything like me. Before I was calibrated, recalibrated, we used to look similar. After the calibration and the recalibration, they messed around with my looks to look different from him. Anyway, has he figured it out? Okay, if he has figured it out, good. I don't know. It crossed my mind. The girl who was coming to clean my home, the dark-skinned girl, she says, I love my brother on her phone. So I said, does she have a twin brother who she loves? Were you actually directing it to her that she has a twin? And perhaps he's the beast. Is the beast a twin of anybody? The ogre's partner, the beast, does he have a twin? Is he twins with anybody? I was recalibrated to look like Anita, who is the darker version of Anu Sadrangani, who is a light version and a lit version. They recalibrated me to fit in with their crowd. She shapeshifts for Modi today in the government, but only she knows who she is, so she harasses and does a lot of shit echo conversation through technology in my home, puts my home for viewing amongst the slum dwellers, projecting me as somebody from a good background, pretending to be the mother. So she is doing exactly what the Fernandeses were doing, projecting one thing, messing around from the background, taking advantage of it, fibbing through her teeth, pulling all strings on all end, thinking she will never ever get caught. Right? She's learnt it, or she's from the same background as Fernandes. Okay, as long as that is sorted. Good. Okay, I'm going to keep this pendulum down and get back to the reading. Nobody, I don't think RCM, nor NRL, nor JA, nor the ATS, who are lit, who got their jobs because they qualified, got their berths because they qualified for good berths. Even if the berth wasn't a good one, but they worked their way to honestly getting the ATS job. Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy, late Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy, from the higher realms, once she leaves the body, or already has left the body, is from the higher realms. On her back came those shapeshifters ever since mid 2022-23 onwards. Just took one bloody trip to Bombay, SAIL and RC, sending in the real location where I'm at for that ugly ogre to latch onto. Nobody, neither NRL, nor RCM, nor JA, nor ATS, needs to do the kind of wire pulling or the gross manipulation, fibbing, to keep the head above water. That's only what criminals do. That's what dark souls who get rid of lit beings, take the face of the lit being, is a dark soul, so they can survive and think that they are okay doers. That's the lot today that is spread in that 40%. And that's the only way they've got the coveted positions, getting rid of lit beings, replacing them with dark beings everywhere, in most places. They are the types who do all the fibbing. The IG, the DGP have been called out to have their bones thrown in the middle of nowhere by your beast, short little hairy shit from the Registans and the deserts, poverty-ridden of the Middle East. हर कोई वहाँ पे शेकी बन के रॉयल्टी नहीं बनता है. उनके जो रेगिस्तान के इम्पोविश जो लोग हैं, इंडिया के लोग जो वहाँ पे जाते हैं, your Mr. Sukuraman has shown you some of the realities or what those desert life is just about. But born into that desert life, sold by your parents because there's nothing to eat. That is a reality, a hidden reality of that place as well as Pakistan. Don't bring your crap to India. बचकुंडा यहाँ पे नहीं होता है. Fucking boys in their backside doesn't happen in India naturally. It doesn't happen in India naturally. So your flesh trade, child trade, labor of children, all that is not really a homegrown issue of India. Mr. Akshay Kukreja is on a revenge mode. Mr. Akshay Kukreja, who was sent to University of Waikato, who says actually Katrina Kaif is a boy, in the computer room of Orchard Park, University of Waikato. He's the one who's doing all the recording silently in his conversations of mine, but giving what? Bits and bytes of those conversations? Everywhere we look, it's saying, fix you, mash you. You are who to mash me and fix me? Who are you? How dare you? How dare you? Come on, no papa. हमको ऐसे थ्रैश हमारे फैमिली नहीं बनते हैं. Don't you fucking dare. अगर हर लिट बींग के लिए काला आत्मा आके चेहरा पहन के बाप बनेगा तो ये धरती जो है एकदम डूबने वाला है. पूरा ब्रह्मांड जो है कालापन में छाया हुआ मरेगा. But that's not the way it is supposed to be. तो तुम तुम्हारे जगह हैंडल नहीं कर सकता है, लेकिन कमाई वही है. तो recognize who you really are. Don't grab things belonging to others. तुमको पता है coveting possessions belonging to others is not the righteous act. Advaitism is not stealing, lying, grabbing, replacing, mass exodus, genocide, replacing white with black. उसको अद्वैत नहीं बोलते हैं. उसको unrighteous act connected with the beast and ogre बोलते हैं. That's all. अद्वैत रहना है तो जैसे तुमको जन्म मिलता है भगवान के घर से, भगवान को याद करके निकालो. अद्वैत बोल के छीनना, अच्छे आत्माओं को हरास करना, मारना, वो एक राक्षस का काम होता है. राक्षस जो है वो लोअर रेल्म्स में नाग लोका, सुताल, Patal, mostly it is Patal Loka, which has the demons, Rakshasas, who are known to harass white beings, white lit realm beings, spoil the pujas, spoil the altars, very much like the shapeshifter who was wearing the face of Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy and spreading the smell of shit at the altar of the temple, in my home, anywhere. Takes great pride in it. Yes, how many times over? This bloody fucking glass. One hour to clean it. It's a bloody 5-minute job. Then heaving and howing and hooving with all the dance drama done by them. Habitually, even Bartila used to do that. It's being aired where? To whom? On the directions of whom? So this battalion of crap that you are, You're going to a shithole. अब जब तू पाताल नर्क जावे, तू वहां से हिलेगा नहीं. It is on the orders of every witness. Most of them are business people who have done pretty well for themselves by sheer hard work and by luck, and not luck, their own reward for good deeds done over many lifetimes prior to this one. You got rid of them, you grabbed their assets, replaced them, at least amongst the replacements, some of them being absolutely dark, ugly Atmas. Echoing what I say is not going to do anything. You bloody useless sitting in those cars downstairs. Using mobile telephony, recording crap. That also uploading it to the dead man's shutter drives. Doesn't make you anything authoritative, no authentic. Hey, useless crap. Hear it the way my clap does it. Not bloody hiding bloody parasite and shit. Hiding inside the flesh and the blood of my body under my skin. Or then like parasite, fungus on my hands. Yeah, fungi. This crap represented by you eventually puts you to the level of a parasite one way or the other, and the next, whatever kalpas you earned, Nark and Patal, you will not move from that parasitic form, bacterial form, till you don't pay off your fucking debts. Did you understand it loud and clear? So as usual, what we're going to do is, we're going to restart this. It is very important this is done this way. Every component that joins itself is evidence for intelligence, whatever is left behind, connected with the lit realms. A lot of you have been replaced by the dark realms. I think you're already aware of it. So leaving that aside, those who know how to do the job, it is very important for everything that there is a background to. With live evidence going back into history, it has to be addressed. It's a little long, but you need to know. Okay? Girija, why is your voice on the back of my throat? I am not Girija, I am Jaya. Girija, which school did you go to? GD Somani. You got married to my Rakhi brother, who went to Stanislaus in Bandra, lived at Hill Road. Except that it says that he is no more in the list of people. He, like Sanyogita Saxaria, knew more than what I knew, both about Varsha as well as United Breweries. Outsiders know more about the replicas than I do in 1997 is a red flag. Or 98 or 99. No Sindhi would ever fall to those levels. It's only duplicates that do it. Okay, so just replaying this. Okay, so you know it is EU, CM, B mu, SRL gone, X, RTT, IR, RF, JA. So we will have to redo this just to ensure everything's on the table. And then we continue because there's something connected with Jeff Bezos. So EU, CM, mu, B, SRL, gone. We're lucky we were saved in spite of whatever my reading is saying about the 10 and the shape shifting and whatever being true. We will revisit the marriage later on. I'm happy I'm single. I will not be changing my status for anybody or anything. You want to count my dimes? I say you count your Rin Ripu. Spend your time on that because once you're out of this body, you're not getting a chance till you don't pay off your debts. It's as simple as that. It's open shut. And this is not the Bombay High Court nor Supreme Court. This is the ultimate court. So you spend your time instead of sitting and talking shit in my home all the time, calling me dimes, you count your debts going into zillions, hundreds and crores of zillions of bad debts to be paid off by you. Nothing is going to be written off. You will pay it. And you will pay it as you have earned it. I wouldn't want you to play snooker in my home. I don't want a fuck like you playing snooker in my home. You bloody toxic bastard. Don't you dare. You understood, you bloody motherfucker? Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare, you ugly, ugly black, useless soul. Don't you dare. Cheap, bloody, ugly fuck. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Bastard is playing snooker, which was at Taj Village. You toxic motherfucker. Don't you dare. Go to hell. You go to fucking hell. And stay there. You're domestic slum dwelling crap, you little motherfucker. Don't you fucking ever forget it, you bloody garbage from a sewer hole. You little piece of shit, you had to steal from me. You had to lie about me. I have taken nothing from nobody. Shows what you are at an atmic level, how impoverished you actually are. You bloody sewer, byproduct, parasite and shit. So EU, SRL, CMB mu, gone, JA, XRTT, IRRF. This is Fernandez's one son, Tony Fernandez the other one, Agnello Fernandez playing Kiran Merchant called Kira, is not mentioned here, or CEER A. On the back of every lit being murdered and replaced by poverty-ridden from the slums like Rosie Fernandez, Rocky Fernandez, one Tony Fernandez or Anthony Fernandez, God only knows, along with one Agnello Fernandez. Taking this reading forward, I went actually looking for some old photos, but then I decided against it. What I want to know is my twin, who you say I have a twin brother somewhere in the world. Now, is he a good soul? That's the most important, because is he a decent soul? Is he genuinely a twin from the womb, born in 1973? Born in 1973, like how I'm born in 1973. Are you talking about the two? One who stood in for Shalina, one who stood in for JAYA.ADVANI, one who stood in for Varsha.ADVANI, one who stood in for JAYA.ADVANI. Are you talking about those two? The one who eats the dosa with the fork and the knife. Are you talking about that couple? Or brother sister who have done shape shifting, comparing their noses as Advani noses? Are you speaking about them? You're talking for the holder of the pendulum? Even though my voice, they're playing Girija's voice. Girija, who got married to Ashish Jatyani, they're playing her voice. So does Girija have a twin married to Ashish Jatyani? Are you talking about Girija and Girija's twin? Girija has a twin brother. Girija has an older sister called Radhika. She has a younger brother. So does Girija have a twin? Girija married to Ashish Jatyani has a twin. Girija got married to Mama's family friend, Rukma auntie's son. Did Girija get married to Rukma auntie's son, who's seen sitting in on a bed in my birthday party of the first or the second birthday party, or even before that? Did she get married to that boy? She got married to somebody who replicated or is a replica of the real Ashish Jatyani, Rukma auntie and Harish Jatyani's son. Girija has a twin. Is the twin by birth that Girija has from the same womb? So Girija has a shapeshifter for Girija. Veera's friend Girija has a shapeshifter. The shapeshifter was ever friends with Veera when her boyfriend was alive, Burzin. Veera and Veera's boyfriend Burzin, Girija used to be at that point in time. So has the shapeshifter ever been friends with Veera when Burzin was alive, working at Times of India? Was Burzin ever working at Times of India? Burzin got into an accident. Girija of that time is the same Girija who is the duplicate. Girija of that time has a replica who you calling a twin. Anyway, I wanted to know the twin brother that you say that I have, that I'm not aware of, but he's aware of me. How tall is he? Is he short? Is he one of the Fernandeses? Is he one of the Marathi Kamwali Bai brothers? Is he Spanish DNA without editing? Am I also actually Spanish DNA which has been edited by the lot that has gone to become the NDA? Calibrated, recalibrated, transfusions, fuck knows what all. Has he been able to figure it out? How has he been able to figure it out? I don't understand. Anyway, you say he's a good soul. He's a good soul. He's what? Tall? About 5'10", 5'11" in height, in and around. Is he more than 5'11", 5'10" in height? He's my blood DNA related brother without the unediting or the editing that these guys have done. He's my twin brother. Okay, he knows who I am. As long as he knows, okay, fine. I still am not aware of what it is. Does he live in India? Okay, we will have to leave it at that. I just wanted to know if he's a good soul. That's all. Okay, I will continue with the read. These guys know about Jeff Bezos, which we got yesterday connected with Rufus. So they've been eating my head up since morning about it. I will address it right now. Okay, it's very important actually. You go ahead and do that. So moving on from that, we'll go to the next topic, which is Jeff Bezos, which we got yesterday. Okay, so you know that on Jeff Bezos' company's website, Rufus answers your questions when you're purchasing something. So I was quite surprised about it. So this is Elon's company versus Jeff Bezos' company. Now I don't remember what I got yesterday. I didn't get anything about Aarti yesterday, but since this is what I'm getting almost immediately now, I'm putting it through. So I don't know how this ties in, but I have a feeling to bring about forced transformation using IT. Nag means snake. Wanting to bring about forced transformation, I don't know why, but forced transformation, she's got bad future journey. Is it even talking about Nanthur or is it talking about somebody else? I don't know. This morning they showed some dance sequence of some South Indian ladies from Tamil Nadu sitting and dancing in a sequence around some dining table, and one little boy, not little boy, he's a grown man. He's also dancing away, but it looks like a South Indian Tamil Nadu movie, a Tamil movie for which the shooting is going on, and these people are dancing and singing. Dancing, no, they're not playing Garba, something South Indian round some round table. So it looks like a shoot. My only guess is Aarti Nanthur probably worked over there without letting the rest of us know. Aarti Nanthur married a couple of years after JAYA.ADVANI got married on the 29th of January 2001. Few years later on, when it is a Saturday, just check which year was 29th of January 2003, 2004. The year in which Aarti Nanthur got married. Now it is good she got married, but that marriage is very different from how a Sindhi marriages are held. If it was held in Trombay Club or where, not sure where it was held. Her mom was not for the marriage. The boy is from Tamil Nadu. He is well settled, works in Toyota, have bought a house somewhere in Mysore Road. But that wedding was done their style, absolutely nothing like what Sindhi weddings happen. But then you say she's marrying out of the community and that's their way. But what is very, very questionable and a little, it smells of foul play, is when we left the marriage. At the marriage, she gave me what Punjabi girls wear, kaliris. She handed her kaliris to me because that's, it's like throwing the bouquet to somebody in the crowd, and the girl catches the bouquet. So she gave me these kaliris. So I was very happy. I was happy for her because she was interested in getting married, and her mom was not for it, had gone to Bejan Darwala and lots of astrologers trying to dissuade her. But anyway, she got married. When we left that wedding, that who was shape-shifting as my father, I was wearing a mint green sari on that day, mint or light green. It was bought from Chandralok, one of those shops over there. It was Koshi Auntie's gift to me. Opposite Ramba. But that was, today in retrospect, smells of huge foul play. Because what is it that who is shape-shifting for my father says? Now you will not ever marry well. Now you will marry below standards only going forward, and he was very happy about it. I say the girl who got married as Aarti Nanthur may not be the real Aarti Nanthur. Aarti Nanthur was already shape-shifting 1/3 that girl's size. Stabbing as usual in the back. There was only one table of people that I recognized, one small little round table. Everybody else was beyond recognition, didn't know who's who. We don't care whether you get married to NTR or Pentiar or NTR or Notar. Makes no difference. Couldn't give a rat's ass. Then she names her child Malhar when she finally has a son. Isn't Malhar what St. Xavier's College has? But after my face was purposely spoilt, when I've gone with JAYA.ADVANI, Puppy, and a couple of other friends to Malhar of a particular year, 1993-94 sometime, 93-92 sometime, somebody approaches me out of the crowd and says, we want you to audition for the little ad, with my face completely spoilt. What is the connect of Malhar or St. Xavier's College 1992-93 and your son called Malhar, married to this boy Shabri from Toyota, who went away to Japan for 2-3 years before you got married to him, then left with him to go to Japan or went to Singapore? Varsha, when she has gotten whoever was shape-shifting for Varsha, the real JAYA.ADVANI was murdered, raped for 9 years, murdered at Panvel, where Aarti Nanthu's mother from Burma Shell BPCL was given at subsidized rates to buy a apartment, 1 BHK, 2 BHK. Close to that is where Varsha was kept according to these throws. The real JAYA.ADVANI. So when whichever version of Varsha who has come to this house, this apartment on the 18th floor, I got photos with her, I've kept it. I would under normal circumstances just delete it, but I've kept it. The next day cleaners come making noise outside my fucking door because the girl who's come to my house knows that quality of people, which is not my network. She's happy at my setup, she's so gone. But within 2 months, whoever's playing Varsha in Bombay at Bandra West, Perry Road, wherever the hell you stay, don't fucking use the word Advait, you piece of crap. You can't become shorter, you can't become thinner than your normal body size. And your toe cannot suddenly grow longer than your thumb of the toe. When you are sitting in Hinduja Hospital, the only one who's been going to Hinduja Hospital is Neena Nanthur. Since eternity. Varsha always goes to Breach Candy, Jaslok, if at all. Kailasha auntie, when she was supposed to die of cancer, also went to Breach Candy. Nikhil was born in Breach Candy. My mom's father, whenever he was sick in the 70s, went to Jaslok. Varsha went to Jaslok for all the finding out for her baby's tumor, as well as the epilepsy. Hinduja Hospital is out of the way. Nobody goes to it. Yet when Varsha got into an accident, she was in Hinduja Hospital. One look at her, but I say, but this is looking like Meena Masi. Then another photo we see once she's come home, the toe is longer than the thumb. You can't grow your toe suddenly. Varsha has fluffy feet, small feet, like most of the Advani side, Sadrangani side of the family has it. Very few people in our family have a second toe next to the thumb toe, longer. Not even sure who has that. I don't think anybody in our setup. That's not my family, Baba. Not my family. So anyway, here there is topic about X, which is Twitter, connected with Tesla. Connected to Elon. but not the original guy. The augur is 5'10" in height, can shapeshift for Elon and has done so. His counterpart is short, maybe about 5'3", 5'3 and a half. Can shapeshift for Putin and anybody who's 5'7", 5'8 in height, mostly 5'7 in height. They are a team together. Today they're talking about America charging you 50% tariff. No, they're all criminals. They're from the same criminal network. At the most, what they hope to do is increase inflation in India worse than Europe. They're here to destroy India, Russia and America. It is internal play and it is the criminal network. Maybe he's gotten using Rufus to beam everybody's home. With the extra talk is coming from Bezos and X. Twitter initially used for recording lies on SATA drives, and they think it's going to last the next 400 years according to Abhigya. Abhigya, if you're into Vedic sciences and astrology, you're supporting what? Lies and deceit. Recordings on SATA drive regarding people, but then what about the Atmic journey? Technology is going to recognize our Atma when we come as cockroaches and call us servers when we are flying as cockroaches. They'll take our name and say, hey, that is so and so, that's serving me and is flying like a cockroach, coming with a tray to serve me. 400 years from there. Tim is Tim Cook out of, again, technology connected with who? Apple? RC is Royal Challenge. So, as was explained to you, for every lit soul massacred, how do you know a soul is lit? One, they are born in a decent position, may even be a lower middle class household, without doing unrighteous acts. They get into some activity and become highly successful at it. Neither anybody putting them on a back foot, lying about them, that, no, allows them to work. Destiny also supports them and they become successful without doing unrighteous acts. You come to know that's a lit soul. But for everybody who became successful, starting out of garages, being born to a labor person from Mexico, failing 3-4 times, breaking so many marriages, not being financially successful, but then having an idealistic viewpoint of wanting to make the world a better place, from whatever limited understanding that sort of soul has. Last minute, once they have come to the pinnacle of prosperity or close to it, the white is removed and replaced by the dark souls, and it is not one person It is, I don't know how many shapeshifters. The bottom of the pyramid is the widest in the pyramid. They're all crabs over there. For one who needs to get out of the bottom of the pyramid, there are a zillion who are going to pull him back down if they don't get a chance on timeshare basis to experience the mid to the top of the pinnacle. Have you understood of the pyramid? That is fan for you, and that is Ravan and Jivan. Buy one, get one free. The wife also is up on all this is mine, all this is mine. ऐसे ही बोले ये लोग, क्योंकि इनके जो ट्रेनिंग है ऐसे कैंप्स पे हुआ है. इट इज़ अ साइकोलॉजिकल ट्रेनिंग, better than any terrorist camp anywhere. And then that dearth that they have, sand everywhere, not a drop of water to drink, and no plant coming out, not even a twig from underneath that sand. Hungry will do anything just to get out of that place. So when CIA, FBI sit and the likes, MG, whatever, M16, when they come to the streets to ask, give information, who's going to squeal? If they squeal, they'll be replaced out the very same night. There are too many hungry mouths waiting for a position. When you ask, learn to ask the right people. Nag means forced transformation, snake. Rat is that who's bloody mice eating things that they don't bloody earn it themselves. RC could be Royal Challenge, could be the duplicate for Rohika Chagla Mystery. Jeff Bezos is the duplicate for JEFFBEZOS or BESOZ. Tim is Tim Cook. X is Elon Musk. Wrongly spelt over here. AG is supposed to be Akhil Gupta, but Akhil Gupta is no more. CM can be either Cyrus Mistry or can be some chief ministers. Rag, if you want to understand, maybe actual rags. Rag to riches story, you can become a billionaire overnight. Post which year? On Bezos' face. It's very easy to become a billionaire. It is very easy to become a billionaire overnight, one if you win a jackpot. Very few people do. Or you murder and grab somebody's position and he's a trillionaire. You misuse his assets, divide his assets, and all the rats come into play, and then it's a criminal network. They take that money for criminal activities, take that setup for further damage to humanity and human welfare. That's the only way you can become a billionaire overnight. But it's contrary to his values actually if you go back into history. That's not what he tells you when he's developing his company. His wife's name is over here. Scott McNC. That will be another story altogether. Anyway, it's got to do with the IT in some way. Rags ratting is not a good thing, whatever it is. I don't know why you need to play stupid sounds and doing tuck, 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 tuck. Don't do that. Also, there is some nonsense connected with China. So my guess is, if we are looking at X entirely on its own, what did I tell you about X being purchased? It is Twitter. It probably had content which was evidence in the court of law. To stamp down on that evidence, 44 billion was spent. But it just depends, was Jack Dorsey available? Was he alive at that time? Otherwise, two criminals do a deal with each other. Neither is Elon Musk alive, nor is Jack Dorsey. Money exchange hands, but then it returns in a different way. It's called money laundering. Black to white or white to black. Twitter has evidence and content. But then after 2014 end onwards, how was Mr. Bezos, Jeff Bezos and Scott McKinsey's company, Cadabra, which becomes Amazon.com, huge trillion dollar business with a huge client base around the entire world, who can be stamped down via information technology connected with artificial intelligence, the biotech war. And how can that SATA drive be used? Every transaction, every time we open that website, there's a lot of talk that happens about us. Most of it is, just depends how and what mood it is in. It lies a lot about what the customer is doing on Bezos' website, including the barcoding and the QR coding on every package that comes home with our names and addresses on it. With PM1, PM2, PM3, PM9, PM11 on it. If you don't understand the nexus of the criminals, then all the best to you. Yesterday also you were told India, America, Russia. It is already too late. They will be destroyed in time to come. It is already on its way. You want me to show it to you? I'll do it on the pendulum, no problem. Yes, for a Scott McKinsey, the original remove, there will be 20 ladies. Shape-shifting, and I don't want to call them ladies. You don't have anything of a lady in you. 20 shapeshifters shape-shifting for the white Scott McKinsey, who doesn't steal, doesn't take things from anybody. Yesterday I have asked the pendulum whether Vittal Mallya, which my father's sister got married to, whether there was any bloody manipulation in it. It says no. What did you do on the back of it after 87? What about Johnson & Johnson and his daughter? What about Hilton giving away everything in charity? What about the abuse his descendant has gone through on the ramp? You're saying all that is coincidence. I say it is bullshit. It is high levels of manipulation done by that unseen source. You allow people to grow. What about Oprah? I saw you. Oprah has given a story of whatever childhood trauma was. You allowed her to run a very popular show. I was shown her black eye, one eye out of her socket. And so many of them in that industry. Yes, you let them, sometimes you pick them up from the streets, then you're the one who gets rid of them. Some of them have been chefs, some of them have been actresses, some of them have been comparers of very, very, very popular shows. As long as they do your work of however you're trying to maneuver society, after that you get rid of them stealth mode. What's that? You speak like a bloody man. Speak with your freaking face. You're the most incompetent, unintelligent, useless Atma ever. This is also being used for making reels of people when they are shopping or they are going to those websites. Your bloody Mick is talking shit about me at my own home. You will classify me for who I am. And I am spending money. Then when you are, my mother doesn't spend the money. My mother left my father when I was 9. You dare to call me Benam, you are a criminal. Why do I have a twin somewhere else in the world? Why was I changed from a white fair child into a black-hairy child? What about all those children that were maimed on the streets? Put out for begging. You have used me as a pawn in your ambitions and goals. Connected with India's parliament, to the United Nations, to human rights, to America's government, to Russia's government. On the back of this filth, you want to be Vishnu? Vishnu never plays filthy. The beast does. You, as Anita, are a central figure who has what? My face got spoiled, but before that my reputation. It is Nirja Daswani in my sleep I see stabbing me in my back. But Nirja Daswani is who? Sadrangani's relative? You dare call me Benam because then you're a kidnapper and a very filthy Atma. Nothing can beat that. You stop counting my dimes, you count your ripu, and please make arrangement how you are going to deal with the outcomes of your deeds. You just do that. Don't bother with me. Why do we have Rahul Gandhi over here? I didn't see that before. So do you realize this reading has the who's who in it? Except that most of these people have been called to have been pulled off stealth mode, harassed, murdered, replicated by very dark Atmas. But these are guys who contributed in a lit way to the development of lots of good things. Previous readings though are talking about them and whatever they and their families have been through stealth mode. To axe somebody, I don't think, if my reading has been saying they got affected, he got affected, his wife got affected, R and L is different. From RL. Also, there is the rig that is involved. Is this rigging or is this fibbing? Such big people will rig, or will dark Atma standing in for people who know how to build businesses, keeping it at least 80% righteous. Now between the beast and godly people, Who's going to do the rigging, fibbing, scamming, conning, slaughtering, genocide, stealth mode, and replacing with birds of a feather fit together? That's the beast and beast following. Who's between the two? Which one's going to do the activity? When you are the who's who of the world, you don't need to rig things. But when you are garbage who has slaughtered people, harassed them, then gone to take their positions, only you will do this nonsense. People who can make it straight and feed themselves and many others, providing employment, don't have time to waste in this cheap manner. It is scumbags picked up from dearth and poverty, bad atmas from many bad past births of bad deeds. Only that kind of rubbish will do such shit. Nobody else can waste their time. Okay, all the time sitting messing around, rigging the mic. They're rats. Messing around using X as a SATA drive, using Rufus at late Mr. Jeff Bezos, if I can say so, because that's what my reading insists on. We can ask. Scott McKinsey is his wife. Used to be his wife for public view, but if Mr. Bezos was pulled off by the end of 2013, sent off, I have been shown, I don't want to insult him, it is not about insulting anybody, but I have to tell you what was shown to me. Scott McKinsey, end of 2014. If they are the founders of their company and their spirit is still watching what you people have done over here, they're not going to be happy souls. Are you willing to answer? Mr. Jeff Bezos, who founded Cadabra to Amazon.com, is in spirit today. Has he moved on into the afterlife? His legally wedded wife, Scott McKinsey, she has moved into the afterlife. The couple is still in his human body. Are they still in the human body? Their company is being misused is what this read is trying to say. As Elon's, assets, or then let's just say the Tesla shareholder assets connected with Jack Dorsey and his Twitter. You're saying those assets are being misused? There are mice and rats gnawing away at stuff they haven't earned but grabbed on the back of murder and replication. Lit Atma's stealth mode gotten away with, and the dark Atmas that have gone replacing them. Is that what he is trying to say? Mr. Jeff Bezos is around you. Scott McKinsey is around you. You want to say something, but I don't know your business so well, so I don't know what to say. I'll just go with the flow. um, I'll just keep doing the read. If there's something that comes to me, or maybe later on something comes to me, then again I'll be back to ask. Okay. Okay, there's something, my horoscope, I don't even know now what to say, but I am supposed to be Mrikshish, Sun and Saturn. But I don't rat. Otherwise, I wouldn't do these readings which kind of give you the background picture of things. If it calls me anything, then we will have to accept it after the pendulum and checking with Shirdi Sai Baba. I don't rat. Yes, if I've got a twin brother somewhere else in the world, but you have manipulated a situation and then used me as a pawn over all these years, pulling strings on the back of me throughout most of my life, then it does come to some amount of ratting, but it is not done deliberately from my end, but the ones who run it are the rats with political agendas and expected outcomes, but not earned the righteous way. But then that's your problem. It doesn't make me a rat. Carmelines who work for Kalavati Hagumatrai-Advani. She's Rosie's mother. Anyway, that if I find it, I will show it to you. Not now. I have got a video of who they are at Carmeline's funeral itself. I've stored it as a private video, but since this requires identification, then we will show it once I find it. The IG and the IT and the X, the RAM and the ratting. Who is she? I don't know. If it is a ciggy and a cigarette, well, you light a cigarette and it burns. So is that what is happening? I don't know. Is there some TC involved, transfer certificate? Or like a conductor? TC is for train travel who checks your ticket, right? Tick is the ticket of the IG. But which IG? I said whatever evidence there is of all the ratting, scamming, stealth mode, getting rid, replicating, apparently, according to my understanding, first was on Twitter, then on Bezos's company. Maybe Tesla hard drives also, don't know. But that's probably been used for back-end wrong classification of lots of people. %50 or some trade, some penalty levied on India for supporting Russia by America will only raise inflation, making things very expensive for all the Indians for no rhyme or reason. But if it is the criminal network doing that, it is internal trading amongst themselves. Why you don't understand it? You have no quality, no qualification of doing anything decent or even 1% decent for humanity, if it can be established very clearly. Rats only know how to steal. They are mice who nibble at cheese which does not belong to them. So maybe some very greedy people, they spend all their time grabbing, and they may be, I was told there are 1,000 people involved in this in key positions from around the world. 1,000 to about 1,300 replicas in key positions around the world that they put out sometime in 21 or 22, 21, 22. Nali means a drain. Nali or Nala. Somebody born at GT hospital, having grabbed somebody else's identity, probably don't know what it is, it is Anita who took me twice to GT hospital. Once the excuse is she wants to use the toilet over there. Second is we passed through that, and her using the toilet there needs us to walk around that ground primarily to find the toilet. Lots of the constables have their home over there. Second time over is we have parked in the back lane leading to Times of India, where I used to park very often when I used to go to work at Times of India. Over there also I got my passport also from that police station. It's a pretty big one. It's in the lane behind Times of India where lots of cars park. But if you pass that police station and cut through, there is GT Hospital behind it. You walk through that ground, you can go to Crawford Market. So once we have done that also. Maybe it is trying to point that version of Anita during that time. And she's not from a good background because Nali Nala is not a good background. Not sure how it. Maybe she has shapeshifted after RC has been removed, shapeshifted for her too. RC being Rohika Chagla, CM being Cyrus Mistry. Maybe is not made be. You mustn't mix it up like really illiterate stuff and play fucking buzzer under my right shoulder. You're very stupid. Don't fuck around. Hiding little maid servant. Hiding on SATA drives. Recording crap. Misusing stuff built with great grit. With righteous activity by the founders. You must be from poverty-ridden background of tremendous bad karma. Desperate as hell to survive, will do anything for it. That's my profiling of you. Don't fuck around. Lit is one thing, but then to light a ciggy or to be a light Atma. Lit Atma or to light the ciggy. Because you want to rig. Looping identities we got for Aarti Nanthur. Texas. Rufus started only recently. We're now in 2025. Jeff Bezos is supposed to have been unceremoniously pulled off. 2012 made something to do with my New Zealand University of Waikato, that 1 year that I was at University of Waikato. Done away 2013, brought to Bombay to my house, or somebody wearing his ego brought to my home for a few days in a week and then done away with, never to be seen again. They sent me a vision, him cleaning some mall toilets. I told you wearing what? His wife 2014 end, Scott McKinsey. Rufus is though, I don't know, maybe 25, 24 sometime. Not sure. Or maybe a little earlier. Rufus answers questions that a potential purchaser puts out to ask about a product they wish to purchase. That's what Rufus is. Probably AI is involved in it, back-end architecture involved in it. So I don't understand technology. But if intelligence is going to ask things like Rufus about people, like Wikipedia, anybody can contribute to it. If I contribute lies, well, I'm going to be twisting the truth. But Wikipedia is going to allow that to go out as the truth. So if you're going to be using intelligence, is going to use, instead of its own brains, its own ability to investigate with the human brain, you're going to turn to technology to find out about people, but then the classification of the people is based on the what kind of recording. Today this fuck in that cheap bloody fan is talking a whole load of shit in my home. I spent big money to buy this fucking house, apartment on the 18th floor. Some delivery boy comes to my door and says, but my app is not recognizing you as a owner. I say, fuck, then where did my father's hard-earned money go? Down which drain? Is my luck so bad that no matter what I do, I go to one of the better builders, I buy a premium property, I've changed the property 3 times, sat in that builder's office at least 4 times, sat for one full fucking half a day asking them when I will get my staff. None of it is fulfilled by the builder's side of the marketing office. I paid the money according to how it is, doing the fucking demand drafts. Then I see over there I got 86 fucking thousand written to my face in the registration sale deed. How? So I say it's foul play. But would lit beings do unrighteous deeds and foul play? No, criminals do that. Criminals, hardened criminals, shameless criminals do that. But you spread that ugly black atma, getting rid of white souls wherever you could stuff that black shit. Ugly black atmas from the bottom, say under the terrain of even Patal called Nak, those kind of atmas. How can anything good happen then on the back of it? So that bloody fuck keeps talking 24/7, classifying whatever it wishes to. Then shit in my hands. Poked here, poked there, all the time talking shit. One delivery boy checking app to say, oh, you're smelling a shit, I'm very happy. Oh, it's not making you the owner of this house. Matter? No matter in this house. No matter in my apartment. Why so desperate? Land of spiritual evolution, spirituality and goodness. Why so much lies? Answer. Why so much lies? Why is it that there is so much TN jabbed, including the priests? Why so much desperate moves for what? All of it steeped in unrighteous activity, desperation. For what? I'm not sure how to read this. RC could be royal challenge against those who are royalty. Rani means queen. Lit is lit beings. RAM, if it is connected with IT, connected with things like, we're not calling out Jeff Bezos unless he is guilty of crime. The real one. But this is not really calling out the original, it's calling out the duplicate and his company. RC is Royal Challenge or Rohika Chagla. Married to Sharpwar G. Pal on G. Cyrus Mystery. So either it is royalty. So when Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, when playing polo, parallel to 124 people dying in an air crash, again from Narendra Damodar Das Modi's hometown state. 124 people that went up in the air was only how Kasab did the bomb blast in 4 places. The understanding of it is whether appropriate or inappropriate, that time will tell. But that was also just a message and staging of a show. The real damage is very different. Same way that plane that went up in flames, parallel to Sanjay Kapoor, having something entering his mouth and then dying or whatever it is while he was playing polo, and Elon Musk putting out whoever is shape-shifting for Elon, which is supposed to be the augur, Tony Fernandez, hand in glove with the beast. One short, one tall, Tony being tall, augur being tall, beast being short. They are partners, intimate partners with each other. They are both boys. So he puts out no kings, something of that sort, right? What did he put out on Twitter X? No kings? What did you put out, man? No kings? So in ancient India or in traditional India, the Maharajas, Maharanis and their offsprings, probably polo was considered a game for royalty. Don't know. So definitely that who is challenging the royal challenge is a brand of whiskey, or is Rohika Chagla, Jeff Bezos and Rufus. Texas is, we all know, Tesla as SpaceX. GT Hospital is very different. No Rani will be born in GT Hospital, which is a government hospital, where the constables also have their housing. That's bottom of the pyramid if you think about the police force and what the pinnacle of the pyramid would be. That would be the IG. Don't know, you know better. So the Rani and lit beings. So either you are a lit soul or you are a dark soul. If you are the Rani quality, you will most certainly not be born in GT Hospital. If you are a lit soul, you can be born at GT Hospital, but then you're not going to be challenging royalty. Because you know, in the scheme of things, in the Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 stations of life. Grabbing people's lit atmas, replacing it with dark atmas, grabbing people of better births in the top of the pyramid, replacing them with dark atmas, because only dark atmas from bottom of the pyramid will do anything, even if they know it is bloodshed and murder, and go and replicate on a timeshare basis people from the middle of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid. Only dark atmas, desperate atmas do that. So what is the GT connection? Please say. Yeah, Anita would know about it. What is GT Hospital connection? She's not Anu Sadrangani. Anu was born in Karachi before and during the partition of India-Pakistan. Anu's mother taught in a Pakistani school as a principal. Anu's mother had Anu as the first child late in life. Ramchand Sadrangani worked for Siemens. They were staying first, she says, later on about Chotu Terrace, then Niagara at Kulaba Post Office, before he has retired a few years at Mystery Court opposite CCI Club. Then his home apartment has gotten ready at Sabnath building close to what are you called? Singanyas, at where Amar Sons and Prem Sons, that is Breach Candy. I got photos of my mom, dad after their marriage at their in-laws' home, which is my mom's parents, along with me being held over there. Rajan Mama used to take me down and he always complained that I used to piddle on him. But he's 15 years older than me. He was the youngest in their family. He worked in Siemens for a couple of years and then didn't like it, stopped completely. So I got my history together. You tell me yours and keep calling me Benam, because I'm going to fuck your happiness, punch you out of here. You dare to challenge anybody's birth because they are lit beings. They don't give a rat's ass about you counting your crores of trillions, while you insult them calling me dimes. How dare you? You count your bad debts earned by you to be paid off by you as Atmik Rin Repo and Atmik bad currency going forward. You spend your time figuring out how you're going to pay that off. You are not Anu Sadrangani. Maybe that who's hanging around in Texas is from GT Hospital, has shapeshifted for Rohika Chagla. She's connected with somebody who shapeshifts for Bezos, misuses all the bloody SATA drives, gets rid of people who are lit and of good birth. This is not RAM. This is RAM, IT RAM. The SRL's father, don't know, they sold him also. Anyway, let's just ask the pendulum, because I don't know what more to do on this. Hi baby, are you there? Why are you doing no, I don't understand. Answer me. Are you here? I am not a Rani, right? Am I Rani? Varsha? Yesterday you told me I'm of not a great birth. You said I'm a normal birth, right? Didn't you tell me I'm of a normal birth? The one who went to Fort Convent School in pre-KG and graduated in 89. Jaya, Karyalal, Hukumat Rai, Gurmukh Das Advani holding this pendulum. First passport JAYA.ADVANI bought in my name. So I'm a normal common citizen, right? But surrounded initially by good people, right? I have a twin brother somewhere in the world. By whom? Okay, what I do want to ask you is, Mr. Bezos and Scott McKinsey, if they are around you, is there more they want me to read on Jeff Bezos and on Scott McKinsey? They still want me to read, so should I remove the Rufus and go to something else surrounding them? Are you asking them? So I continue with this topic? Okay. My understanding of the Rani is okay. Means people of good birth and lit beings, then just dropping them and converting them, and whatever I said earlier in the reading, was that appropriate enough? Were you saying no for that understanding? There's something I misunderstood in the reading. The GT hospital? I was born in GT hospital. The girl who's in Texas was born in GT hospital. Anybody who's shapeshifting at Texas or connected with Amazon or then Bezos' company or then Elon's company, something of that sort. Anybody over there shapeshifting? Anybody shapeshifting from GT hospital? Anybody from the shape-shifting category of people from the GT hospital? That one who is shape-shifting from born in the GT hospital is a good soul? Is that lady a lit soul or that boy a lit soul? Is that lady born in GT hospital a challenge and a problem in any way? Okay, I'm wearing my glasses and doing this, but I will remove my glasses. I'll remove my glasses and ask. Again, coming to the topic of GT hospital. Is there a shapeshifter who has been born in GT hospital or somebody born in GT hospital who does the job of shapeshifting? The person who was born in GT hospital, that person is a good Atma? Anything to be worried about the Atma that was born at GT hospital? Was I born at GT hospital, darling? Was I delivered from the womb at GT hospital? Was I recorded to be born at St. Elizabeth's Nursing Home near Chandralok, opposite Ramba? Is that how it was documented for me from infancy? Okay, as long as we've got that correct, we move on. We continue with this because that's what they're saying. Continue with this. Okay, so now we will just continue with this. It's not Mr. Maria, it's just Maria, but I don't understand why it is Maria. Jeff Bezos RNL GT Texas Maria IT EU RC. It could be you are Jeff Bezos, a duplicate who messed around with RNL too, messed around with the GT lady also at Texas from AU, misusing AI IT, probably messed around with RCM and CM also. and RG2. That means this person, Jeff Bezos' height is not more than 5'7". When Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy started working at my home, she said she was working in the accounts department of Amazon.com, working for Jeff Bezos in accounts. Then she came to work to clean my home. Asked her, why is it that you are from, because he pays pretty well. It's a nice coveted job. Why you have come to do this kind of work, cleaning people's homes? God knows. Then thought, okay, maybe she just wants a sabbatical and doesn't want to stay at home. And since don't know why she's doing what she's doing, just let her be. It's not making any sense. And she's good at what she does. So there is no, why should I be bothered? At that time I was pretty sick, so I needed somebody to do all the cleaning of my home. Isn't it strange that she has mentioned working for Bezos' company in the accounts department? Now, between the ogre and the beast is the short guy. Hair on the legs, hair on the hands. Skinny thin. Must be 5'3.5" in height. The pendulum says he has come to this house and cleaned and gone also. Once he has shown me a knife also, maybe. Because when somebody comes to clean my home and I'm spending the money, I like work getting done through them because they're getting the money, the salary for it. I don't care whether you worked in Bezos' home, Bezos' outfit, account manager or CEO. You come to my house to do a job, you have interviewed for it, do the job and don't mess it up. There is a habit of spreading the smell of shit, vomit. Who guides these people? You want everybody in a begging bowl? Beggary. How much you are going to manipulate? Anyway, going back to the topic of Bezos. Jeff Bezos, Mr. Jeff Bezos, is not more than 5'7" in height. He's supposed to be a little short. But the guy who came to meet me in New Zealand as the accommodation manager was stocky, well built and about 5'8", 5'9" in height. He was not so short. Also he was he was properly turned out, not so thin. Yet when Bezos in 2016, 17, 18 sometime has come to India, he was very thin. Right? Very, very, very thin. And small built. 5'3" can easily go to 5'7" in height. Very easily. This one is about 5'3.5" in height. According to me, he is going to be coming in the Salman Khan reality show that he does every year, except that the real Salman Khan, son of Salim and Salma Khan, was done away in 2009 itself. The reality show moved to Khandala, Lonavala, on the back of which lots of nefarious activity started in those areas. Panvel also, Varsha has gotten taken away in 2009. Murdered finally with one cut in 2018. All of it is the work of the beast. She says she has met the beast as well as the ogre. Ritu Malia's identity saw the beast at Taj Mahal. So the beast could very well shapeshift for Bezos and also came to my house to clean as Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy. The beast loves spreading the smell of shit, vaporizing crap, and then having all these defuncts on IT, some fucking app. They listen into my house and they view my home also and they burst crackers. and they think they are bloody Don John doing damn good work. You're freeing yourself from slavery with a job on a salary that you negotiate, each and every one of you. So because you have not understood things properly, you will get a chance to understand things properly by made by you only, nobody else. You bring whoever you want, let's see them contained in the Brahmand. You ask anyone to help you. You don't keep it righteous, you do all the fucking cheap, unrighteous act. You do what you want. Let's watch you wiggle out of now what's to happen. And listen, hey, don't ever whine, don't ever wail, don't ever whimper, you bloody wimp. Make sure you take the responsibility of whatever you fucking contributed to. Something interesting over there. He's not. Oh, yes, 1 minute. Ogre is the tall guy, the beast is the short guy. We got the beast. Hairy chap, but he can even shave his legs. He has shapeshifted for Katrina Kaif and Ek Tha Tiger. Evidence says Akshay Kukreja saying that Katrina Kaif 2012 at Orchard Park computer room is actually a boy. Akshay Kukreja says that the young generation, what you fucking call Yuva, which is bullshit. He talks he's on a rampage of revenge. The elderly you can teach to an extent, but the youngsters and those of my age you can teach properly. On the back of it, also a deep state dream is sent to me. He says he knows the top people of Google. But Bryn is supposed to be no more in the body. Surely the beast has not shapeshifted for Bryn later on. But for every person slaughtered, murdered, stealth mode, there is not one shapeshifter. The beast is not around all the time. The beast has many people shapeshifting. He's one amongst them. For every person murdered from the lit realm, and then 20-30 of these shapeshifters shapeshift for the one dead exalted personality. They keep shifting themselves around, jet setting on other people's stolen money. Yes. What is common about all these people over here? RG is 5'7" in height. GT lady, the beast can shapeshift. He's 5'3.5", so he can be a woman also. RCM, Rohika Chagla Mistri, from Chagla Company of Law. She's about 5'3". Who's going to check? This chap has shapeshifted for all these people. He's tall. He could have harassed this man at some point in time, or then shapeshifted in front of him as a woman. He is the cause for the rule of Shapurji Palunji, Cyrus Mistry, and Rohika Chagla Mistry, and Patsy Perrin Dubash, and perhaps their father. I don't understand what it is got to do with Chrome, but to do with EU. So perhaps he has gone in and out of EU, shapeshifting whichever way. He is shapeshifted probably in the UN. Not Chrome, dear. Chrome. Find out what is Chrome in Europe. chrome is more expensive, right? Then I don't know, is it an expensive metal? Not sure. I'm the ox, my father's an ox, Mr. Ratan Tata is an ox. Indirectly connected to Shapoorji, Palonji and RCM. Is she here in this read? So let them be together. They are together simply because this belongs to one setup. She's RCM, not CRM. And let's just do this, RC and CM as a couple. Ox being Ratan Tata. What is her give and take? This lot's give and take with Rahul Gandhi. EU and United Nations. This guy has shapeshifted and messed around with this entire setup. The lady at GT is probably one version of my mom, who's not a bad soul, but messed around with by the beast, shapeshifting as her. It was confirmed that he has shapeshifted for my mom and shapeshifted for my mom's better shapeshifters too. My mom, I don't know, was pulled off the grid at some point in time much earlier. Anyway, you have found who is the culprit. The beast is 5'3.5" in height, or 5'3" in height, 5'3.5" in height. Shapeshifts for women and shapeshifts for men too. Up to height 5'7". The augur is 5'10". Shapeshifts for men up to about, I think he can go to 6 feet, 6'1" feet, around 6 feet. He may be 5'9", 5'9.5", but can go to 6 feet, 6'1". Nobody takes a measure tape and measures exactly. Not sure why this has got to do with the EU uni. Not sure. Is it even to do, or was he involved? If this is me, was he involved in classifying information using technology? When I went to the University of Ekato, the uni and the ox should be me. How do they come into the play? Tom Ox is sitting on the bed like a fat, happy Tom cat. Is what Varsha says to my dad. When he's looking well, he's fair, he's looking good, and I'm just relieved that he's looking healthy. And I like it when people joke in my house. My dad had gone away to the hospital for around, I think, 1-2 weeks. He had passed out on the bed for 1 month. Prior to that, we could see he's very, very sick. He refuses to eat, he drinks. So that's not my dad's temperament, and he's pretty thin. So once when I get home, he's passed out on the bed, and it seems like foul play. He's not sleeping headboard to footboard, he's sleeping across the bed. And there is JAYA.ADVANI and Chitru at the house. But then if Chitru was taken away in 1986, then who was that? Anyway, it feels like there's something not okay. So I rush into my dad's room to see if he's okay, and I'm shocked that he is sprawled out across the bed and not headboard to footboard. Because my dad, under normal circumstances, is very particular about putting his stuff away. The house is very neat. This house is very cramped and, cluttered. Jasul is not like this apartment of mine. This apartment is relatively cluttered. So anyway, I call Varsha, my sister Shalina Hundalani, and say, you need to come. He's not listening, he's not eating, he's drinking. And being, he can pass out anytime. Sure enough, a month afterwards, he does end up in hospital. They blame it on dengue. And then, of course, Varsha comes bursting into the room crying, and I say, what the fuck were you doing for 1 month prior to this? You look like you're all theoretics and dramatics and it's not happening. After that, Tomcat, maybe 1 year, 2 years afterwards, there's a version of my dad who's fair, looking nice, he's joking, laughing. It's nice, it's good energy. So we're happy that somebody is, as he has weight and he's in a better mood, we're also happier. So we don't pay attention to it as long as everything's looking fine. Okay? That's the reference to Tom. But Tom Ox, I don't know what it means. My dad was born in 1937. I'm born in 1973. We're both born in the year of the ox. I went to the University of Waikato. What does RC? Jeff Bezos, I said, the accommodation manager was looking a little of that sort. RC, you trying to do royal challenge against somebody? Because I don't think Ruhika Chagla Mistry would have time for this kind of rubbish. It's not your place, no matter who you are. It's not your place to challenge the royal. It's their birth. You want to do something, you run $1 trillion companies, do your bloody charity. Why go stamping down on other people? Why do unrighteous acts? You make lots of money, you are a very well endowed human being. The rest of them are as well endowed as you. Do your charity. Do it openly, make it a business. Why stamp down on people? It just doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense. Somebody, that means what? All the people employed on a salary in your company are what? What are they? Most of everything is going to IT and to AI, so little robots are going to do the work. Either people do the work or robots will do the work. Somebody's got to do the bloody fucking work. And everybody who's running their homes, running their offices, running their organizations, they have the right to decide. When you, with your red bloody movements, don't make the money, how dare you stand down on those who do so? What is your Indonesia rupaya? Your Bangkok streets strewed with those women selling themselves at how much? Your weakened currency, why? Like that, how many countries, including Germany, Russia, red is dreads. So you are going to steal money and promise a universal income to people on other people's blood money and stolen money. It cannot work. You, who is the beast, who has stood in for probably Jeff Bezos, used his ET, harassed RNL in all probability, stood in for RG because Jeff Bezos and Rahul Gandhi's height is more or less the same. or it is the other network of 100 shapeshifters hired by you. RC also is about 5'3", 5'4" in height. Are running the user interface connected with Ox, who Tomcat stayed in my Forge as well. My dear, don't change my voice all the time, making me burp. And sitting and using that fucking device you have fitted into my fucking body, trying to take out different sounds from my body. Don't do that, you desperate, manipulative, black, ugly, dark Atma. Soul from a shithole of Nark. Don't do that. You are a beast. One literal realm person only is enough to wipe out that bloody parasite. Shadow. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Wrap yourself in a nice face pack all over your body. Still you will be found out. He's told me to continue doing Jeff Bezos and Scott McKinsey, but we have something over here. I don't know which Earl and how tall the Earl is, but if the Earl is not very tall, JB is Jeff Bezos. Depends if any Earl was done away with, but the Earl is actually short. Can be shapeshifted for by a 5'3" person who can raise his height all the way to 5'7". Earl is not royalty, auntie. Royalty is being a queen, king, emperor, empress by birth, from the womb, not stolen, no ETs, no chromosome changing, no, what did he do? What did you do? Calibrating, recalibrating, none of that. No dan, just earning by birth from the womb. And that goes for every station of life. Righteous living is what comes to you by womb. Living it honestly in the best way possible. Staying Advait, connected with the source called the Supreme Being. Allah for the Islam. Shiv, Vishnu, Dattatreya, Trinity for the Hindus. Holy Ghost for the Catholics. Har Har for the Sikhs. And so on and so forth. That's Advait. Realizing that you are one with the universe, irrespective, you are one in the interplay of the entire universe, just like the king. He is directly connected to the Supreme Being. You at the bottom of the pyramid are also connected to the Supreme Being. You've been born through the womb to do a particular discharge, a particular duty, interconnected with even the king at some level in the entire universal play. You need to expend it righteously in the right manner without exchanging things, grabbing things that are not yours to take, not for this birth, not till you earn it by womb. Why you are not able to do that? And yet when you steal, lie, fib, you call it Advait. If you are not a beast, what are you? RC here is royal challenge according to me. Tony Fernandez is the augur. associated with the beast. Tony Fernandez's height is how much? 5'9", 5'10". The beast height is how much? 5'3", 5'3 and a half. They work as partners is what I've understood. One for up to 5'7" height, 5'3 to 5'7" height, or 5'3 and a half to 5'7" height, does the role of boys and girls. That's the LBT that previous read got. The augur who is run by the beast, because the beast probably grabbed the money from the Middle East along with the research, getting rid of somebody in the Middle East who was royalty in all probability, part of the Illuminati, part of the Freemasons, maybe, not sure how it works, we don't belong to that category. Possibly stealth mode, got rid of royalty, grabbed the research, grabbed the assets, and then spread that criminal business, hiding under the rug of various exalted personalities by birth, lit beings by birth, even if not exalted personalities. You don't need to be rich to be an exalted personality. Misused assets of other people and never looked back. Probably also misused Times of India, because if Tony Fernandez is referred to as the augur in the reading, then Times of India gives you a great cloak. All the products of Times of India, all its affiliations worldwide, all its clients, all the journalists and all the radio shows and all the TV shows, do you pretty much cover every personality that is worth knowing in every field possible, including cinema and finance. What are Times of India's assets if misused, including its affiliation abroad to Europe or anywhere? New York Times, Washington Post, God only knows, you know. Bennett Coleman. The red flag is the mother being asked to give up her directorship. Then how have you influenced the Gujarati Marwadi society, shape-shifting for those people? How tall are the Jains? Is any of them about 5'7", 5'8" in height? The Jains know the different stations of life and the evolution through one life cycle. If somebody wishes to go in for, what is it called, salvation, giving up everything, like so many of these young Jain girls and boys, at 10 they are sending them off to, what's it called? Bhiksha. Renouncing the world at 8 and 10 and 12. They are rich diamond merchants' children. You rich diamond merchant's child, go do bhiksha, beg on the streets. Pay for the sins of your parents. Augur and beast will send their people in over there to grab the assets. You have done it in many places. So if the bloody beast, shape-shifting up to the height between anybody, he can come in any form in front of you, except he cannot reduce his height. So you take it as 5'3", 5'3 and a half. He can go up to 5'7". He runs the Fernandezes, by the way, because he's got the money. उसके पास पैसा है, चोरी का पैसा है. In the royal kingdoms of Dubai, what is the height of the royalty? Please find out. men and women. 5-3 to 5-7 is where the beast will be shape-shifting. He is from absolute abject poverty from the Registans and the deserts of the Middle East. That's where his reality is from. That's where his birth and womb birth is from. My dad is supposed to be Om, the original by whom? Mr. Kani.ADVANI or Mr. Kanayalal Hukumatrai.ADVANI, don't know. Somebody called him Khoba. Not ever heard that word ever before. Mr. Hukumatrai Gurmukdas.ADVANI is my grandfather. He's got enough of a bloody family. Both, so many families in the Sindhis. You've done away with so many of them and replaced them with what kind of people? How can the truth ever be known? No, you have been strutting yourself at the bottom of the pyramid, shape-shifting, hiding your ugly face behind faces of stolen identity, murdered identity. You have created chaos in society. But then that's what the beast is all about. Anyway, I think we will close this over here. I need to have lunch. I am hungry now. It's pretty late too. Yeah, it's late enough, so we will shut this off over here. We yet need to do McKinsey's reading. So we're shutting this now at 15:20. Okay, Thursday, 7th of August 2025.